Hi, this is the Animedesu channel, don't forget to subscribe. Jitsu wa Watashi wa talks about Kuromine Asahi, an ordinary and unpopular high school boy who only has a few friends. Even though looking like a waste, he actually likes her classmate, a girl named Shiragami Yuko. Asahi is just an ordinary high school student who begins to feel love. He always looks at Shiragami, who looks perfect from afar every day. Their eyes accidentally meet, and it causes an awkward situation. As a result, Asahi gets scolded by his teacher, who is giving a lecture in his class. Different from Asahi, who has several close friends, Shiragami doesn't have anyone around her. She is always alone in class. Asahi always pays attention to this. The reasons behind it are not yet known. Asahi's friends seem to notice Asahi's strange behavior and his feelings towards Shiragami. Okade, Sakurada, and Yuta have known for a long time about Asahi, who likes Shiragami. Even so, they still support this impossible relationship. Moreover, Asahi was rejected by their class president, Aizawa Nagisa, who had rejected him even before Asahi confessed to her. Asahi was dejected and traumatized by the incident. However, he refuses to give in before he tries with all his heart, and with his friend's support, he decides to confess to Shiragami so he won't regret it in the future. Accidentally, Asahi finds out Shiragami's top secret, which reveals her true identity as a vampire. As a result, Asahi fails to confess his feelings and pretends not to see anything for her sake. Shiragami explains she is a vampire, and Asahi is the only one who has found out about that. As a vampire, she has no friends and is always alone. Knowing this, Asahi, who previously wanted to confess to her, changes his mind. According to Shiragami's agreement with her father, she decides to leave school after her secret as a vampire is discovered by other people. Asahi is worried and feels guilty because he knows that it is because of him that Shiragami's school life will come to an end. Seeing her struggle to go to school and not having any friends, Asahi feels guilty and decides to help her. Asahi forces Shiragami not to leave school, and he will keep her secret until he dies so that she does not leave school. All of these things were done so that Shiragami would have more valuable high school memories than before. Asahi also asks Shiragami to be his first friend after seeing her struggle, who is always alone. Asahi intends to give Shiragami valuable memories.
私はほらやっぱ絶対ダメだつうかこのまま白髪がだからなんかすげえわかりやつだけは絶対それも俺と友達になってください
Although it is different from his initial plan to make her his girlfriend, in the end he becomes her friend, which becomes the beginning of their secret relationship. Shiragami accepts his offer, and it makes her happy because she has got a friend for the first time. After the incident in the classroom, they are getting closer. Even though Asahi still hopes to become Shiragami's boyfriend, he feels thankful that he can become her first friend and make her life more vibrant. Slowly, Shiragami begins to like Asahi without her realizing it. The following day, Aizawa Nagisa, the girl who once rejected Asahi, although Asahi had not confessed to her yet. At that time, Nagisa told him about his pathetic life. However, instead of staying away from Asahi, Nagisa has started to like him. Moreover, his closeness with Shiragami nowadays makes her jealous and upset with him. Then, Nagisa asks Asahi if he ever liked her and intended to confess to her in front of people. Unfortunately, her tsundere behavior keeps her away from him. In contrast to her intention, Asahi gets rejected for the second time by the same person. After school, Asahi accompanies Shiragami. Their relationship is getting closer and look like a high school couple. Asahi finds out that in the vampire world, sucking blood is a form of liking. Thus, Asahi hopes that Shiragami sucks his blood. Amid the conversation, an unexpected incident happens when Nagisa suddenly comes into the class and accidentally sees Shiragami's wings open spread. It makes her secret known to Nagisa. Asahi tries to keep the secret from Nagisa so that Shiragami won't leave school. Surprisingly, Nagisa reveals her real identity as an alien, much to their surprise. Asahi is confused by the fact that he is met with a vampire and an alien race appearing as his classmates. Asahi has to keep their secret to ensure their survival in the school. Nagisa is an alien assigned to the Earth. Nagisa, who doesn't believe in Asahi, forces him to remove his memories with her hammer, which will get rid of his memories about her. At first, Asahi refuses it as he knows the hammer can erase all of his memories about Shiragami, but then he is willing to do it so that Shiragami's secret remains safe, although they won't recognize each other. However, Shiragami doesn't want him to forget her after what they went through. She is thankful that her life moved to a better way after meeting Asahi. It makes Nagisa change her mind so that they can continue their relationship because they actually like each other. Deep inside, Nagisa feels jealous of their relationship, which is getting closer every day.
白髪とりあえずこのポジションというか
黒峰くんの私言ったやん。黒峰くんにバレた時点でそれをしてまで私の秘密忘れ。それよりどんだけ私いやそんなつもりやん。いやこっちこそ。
The next day, we are introduced to a new character, Akemi Mikan. She is Asahi's childhood friend, but she likes to bully him, although she is actually into him. As a school journalist, Akemi often gathers news about the student's taint. She even has the heart to torture the informant to get what she wants. Asahi is helpless as she knows about his relationship with Shiragami. Akemi attempts to dig for information about Shiragami by torturing him, but Asahi doesn't say anything about it and is persistent in keeping her secret. Later, Shiragami doesn't come to school, and their homeroom teacher assigns Asahi to go to her house. However, Akemi tries to follow him and forces him that she is allowed to come along. Luckily, Nagisa comes to help him, and he can be freed from Akemi. Asahi arrives at Shiragami's house and is welcomed by bats wandering around her house. Shiragami looks happy with his visit because it is the first time her friend is coming to her house. Moreover, Asahi is someone she likes. Therefore, she feels quite awkward because of his presence at her house. Likewise, Asahi also feels awkward about being this close to Shiragami. Things get complicated when Akemi, who followed Asahi, comes to Shiragami's house and bumps into the closet and makes Shiragami's stuff fall. With the information she obtained, Akemi makes false news about Asahi's relationship with Shiragami, and she will publish the news at school so that everyone at school can figure out about their relationship. Asahi is afraid of what may happen, and he chases Akemi and begs her to delete the news and not publish it to protect Shiragami, who is very precious to him. Apparently, Akemi wants to get Asahi's attention. However, after seeing Asahi's effort and sincerity to protect Shiragami, Akemi gives in and decides not to continue her plan. Shiragami seems to like Asahi more after seeing what he did for her sake. It is then revealed that Akemi actually likes Asahi, and she has a personality disorder that makes her able to talk with her glasses, which have the opposite nature of herself.
やっぱみかんちゃんって勝手に書きゃいいのにどうつうか下道ぶってる。
岡の言う通りだと
あんたは黙ってなさいってあれつまりや。もうメガネのくせに喋ってんじゃない。福の神である私。実は私はメガネとお話系がいいの。でも私がそういう最低なやつ。あんたは黙ってなさい。
The following day, Nagisa suddenly disappears. Unexpectedly, he appears in her alien form and asks for Asahi's help to follow her. Because the main battery of her robot runs out, Asahi has to carry her from the women's restroom. It all started because of a misunderstanding that made her forget to charge her alien robot's battery. Nagisa looks embarrassed as she finds Asahi carrying her. With the help of Shiragami, Nagisa is charged in the infirmary. Surprisingly, Akemi finds Nagisa's real body, which makes them panic that her identity will be revealed. Nagisa then pretends to become a puppet and manages to trick Akemi. Things get worse when Shimada looks at Nagisa, whom he considers as an action figure, and he wants to do something indecent with her. Asahi then grabs Nagisa from Shimada's hand to protect her, even though he is suspected of doing anything with her. Asahi keeps running away from Shimada and the others. Thanks to Asahi's sincerity to help her, her feelings are growing towards him, although she declines the fact. As Asahi manages to hide from the others, she suddenly transforms into her normal form, and the incident happens. As a result, Nagisa kicks him out of the room, and the incident draws them closer. The next morning, Asahi and Shiragami walk together to school. Asahi seems to worry about Shiragami. After school, Asahi and Nagisa invite Shiragami to walk around the city. Shiragami feels blessed as this is the first time in her life that she has friends who accompany and give attention to her. At this moment, Shiragami asks Asahi to go out to an amusement park. It will be like they go on a date for the first time, which makes Asahi happy. They play several rides, although they are afraid of extreme rides. Shiragami tells him the story of her mother who met her father at the same place. Her mother is a human while her father is from a vampire clan. It makes Shiragami a half-vampire. Moreover, they also went to the same school and share the same story as they are. At Shiragami's house, her father assigns his men to investigate her daughter at school. While returning home from the amusement park, Asahi and Shiragami encounter a scary wolfman with fangs. Shiragami recognizes him as her childhood friend. His strong appearance makes Asahi terrified and cannot do anything. Shiho finds out they are from the amusement park and thinks they went on a date. Just then, Shiro looks at the moon in the sky and he transforms into his real form. Unexpectedly, Shiro is actually a woman named Shiho, and she makes Asahi almost lose consciousness. The three then go to Shiragami's home, where Shiho explains that she is the dominant personality in the body she shares with Shiro. Shiho then starts teasing Asahi, making Shiragami jealous as she reveals that the wolfman can change at any depiction of the moon, including a picture she shows to Shiho. Meanwhile, Nagisa heads to Shiragami's home to make a peace offering with her homemade cake, but upon arriving finds Shiho pinning down Asahi and leaves the room in disbelief. When she returns a moment later, she sees Shiho in her male form in the same position and flees at the sight. Eventually, the girls clear up the misunderstanding, while Shiho tells Shiragami in a private moment that she should be more honest about her relationship with Nagisa. The next day, Shiho appears in Nagisa's class as a transfer student, much to their surprise. As a result, Asahi is forced to restrain himself from Shiho's aggressive actions towards him. On the other hand, Shimada is envious of Asahi, who has a fortune in his love life. After being relentlessly teased by Shiho's body in school, Asahi begins to projectile nosebleed, while Nagisa starts to get jealous as she also wants to get attention from Asahi, who is always surrounded by his harem. Feeling that his life has been ruined because of the appearance of the alien, vampire, and wolfman race, it seems that Asahi still has to deal with the demon race. Asahi runs away to meet with Shiragami when the two see a tiny girl with horns walking by them. Soon, Shiragami decides to speak directly with the girl, who tells Shiragami that she is Akane Kumoto, related to their homeroom teacher. Akari Kumoto, the teacher, then shows up to wrangle Akane back to her office, where Asahi and Shiragami learn that Akane is actually a 1,000-year-old devil with real horns and Akari's great-great-grandmother. Akane also claims that it was thanks to her that the various supernatural characters were allowed to transfer into the same class. Despite Akane's attempts to portray herself as an adult, Shiragami keeps baiting her into childish reactions with snacks and claims to be the more mature girl.
感謝することでクソガキ。私は大人。
マジで。
あかねちゃん。わかった。大人。
インチクリンに何千歳だと。
新竹林。
私の偉大さを校長の給与から天引きさせていただく。
The two girls then decide to have a sexy contest in the empty school gym, with Shiho acting as the judge, while Nagisa starts tracking mysterious demonic energy from her cat-like spacecraft elsewhere in the city. In multiple contests, Shiragami and Akane try to one-up each other to prove their sexiness. However, instead of being tempted by the two, Asahi has to restrain himself from seeing Shiho, who becomes the judge in the contest. Asahi's bad day doesn't stop there, as he is forced to take a cooking class with his harem. At first, he is delighted to find out that Shiragami, Nagisa, and Shiho are joining him in making curry, but soon finds out that all three girls have trouble making it. Nagisa's directions lead her to make a chocolate cake. After taking a bite, she falls in love with it. Akimi decides to buy Akane lots of snacks in hopes of getting an interview with her, but Akane slips away until Akari appears to wrangle her back to the home economics room. However, both women are sickened to find that Shiragami and Nagisa got too enthusiastic and added something to the curry that causes it to spew poison gas and makes Asahi and Shiho lose consciousness. Days pass and Asahi hasn't confessed to Shiragami yet. It makes him worried. Moreover, his friends always remind him to start his plan to invite Shiragami to go out. However, it turns out that Shiragami won't go by herself. Shiho and Nagisa will also come along. In addition, Asahi's friends also ask Asahi if they can go as well. Learning that Shiragami cannot swim, Asahi takes the chance to train her to swim, which makes them get closer. Asahi's friends hope that Asahi can get what he dreams of. After the pool closes and everyone's on their way home, Asahi and Shiragami both make excuses and ditch the gang. Meeting at the school that evening, it turns out that Shiragami wants to continue her swimming lessons at the school pool. After some more practice, Shiragami tells Asahi about how her parents learned to swim and how her life has changed for the better since she and Asahi met. She was always lonely and didn't have any friends, and it made her want to give up. But after she met him, she enjoyed her school life and started to like him. This moment becomes the starting point of the romance between the two races, which recurs at the same school. The next day at school, Akimi, Asahi's childhood friend, is distraught, having lost her Heathen Queen glasses. Asahi, Shiragami, and Nagisa join her in searching for them. It turns out that Akane stole them, and a major chase through the school begins with Akane using her magic tricks, culminating in her creating clones wearing identical glasses, but Akari breaks up the chase, returns the glasses, and drags Akane off for punishment. Later, by the riverside, Nagisa learns the truth about the glasses, that they are inhabited by a Fukunokami, and that this Fukunokami inhabited the glasses because they were filled with the good memories about Akimi's childhood and her true feelings for Asahi. Rather than admit to her true feelings, Akimi repeatedly tries to throw the glasses away, but is stopped by Nagisa, who challenges her to face Asahi without them. The glasses tell Akimi that if she won't admit her feelings to Asahi, it will just confess to Asahi right when he and Shiragami reach them. In a panic, Akimi tries to put the glasses on again, and in the ensuing confusion, Nagisa ends up wearing the glasses, just as the Fukunokami blurts out, confessing that she loves Asahi, much to everybody's shock.
嘘。これでもう大丈夫だ。
白神羽。
朝日くん、実は私はあなたが好きです。
Shiragami and Shiho make Nagisa and Asahi go to a festival together as a couple. It can be said that this moment is what Nagisa has been waiting for, because she can be alone with Asahi. As a man, Asahi is quite sensitive and always accompanies Nagisa. Seeing Asahi with someone else, Shiragami seems to be starting to feel jealous, even though she was the one who planned it all. Asahi and Nagisa enjoy their time together, trying all game stalls and creating memories. Slowly, Nagisa begins to like Asahi even more due to his sincere attention towards her. She even imagines things beyond her logic. It can be concluded that Nagisa truly likes him. Witnessing their interaction, Shiragami is worried about Asahi. She feels jealous as she thinks her man has been taken by someone else. She starts to realize that she truly likes him. Later, Shiragami is seen a drama by Akane who is acting as Asahi and herself, mimicking their interaction, making Shiragami feel embarrassed. It even makes her admit that she really likes Asahi. Fortunately, Akari-sensei comes and Akane leaves the scene. Shiragami is relieved that she is freed from the torture.
白神その
相沢さんがこれほどクソ生意気な救急はあかりに邪魔される。と先生、違う、あかり。
動くんじゃねえぞクソ工場。
自力で縄抜けするとは逃げる。
仕分け待て。
The following day at school, Shiragami avoids Asahi even though she likes him. Asahi is confused by her sudden change. His friends also mock him because he hasn't gotten any improvement in his relationship. Meanwhile, Nagisa intends to keep the picture of her with Asahi but is caught by others, and causes a misunderstanding between Shiragami and Asahi. Shiragami thinks that Asahi has been in a relationship with Nagisa. Shiragami then asks Asahi to come to the rooftop after school to clear up the misunderstanding between them. There, Asahi is going to confess to Shiragami even though he will be rejected. However, he is shocked as he finds out Shiragami is being taken by her family bat. Asahi realizes it is their last meeting. However, Asahi refuses to give in. He and the girls head to Shiragami's house. Arriving at their destination, they are welcomed by a giant who turns out to be Shiragami's father. Asahi then asks her father to hand Shiragami over. Nagisa helps the operation by spreading garlic powder onto Shiragami's father's face. Asahi then grabs Shiragami's hands and runs away. They stop midway and Shiragami explains that she wants to treat her sick mother and she asked to meet him the other day was to tell him about this. Asahi replies to her, saying that he was afraid that her family had found out about them. Just then, Shiragami's father appears, and he notices that Asahi is a human and his daughter's secret as a vampire has been revealed. He then prevents Shiragami from returning to school. Asahi and Shiragami run away and get into her room. Thanks to her mother's help, her father finally leaves the scene and Shiragami can return to school. Asahi and Shiragami are left alone in her room. They are embarrassed just by thinking they will spend the night in the same room and Shiragami accidentally hits the cupboard. Asahi rushes to protect her. However, Nagisa enters the room and sees Asahi pin down Shiragami and misunderstands the situation. Shen then beats Asahi for doing an indecent thing. Seeing Nagisa's sacred hammer, Asahi gets an idea to save Shiragami. The three of them then go to see Shiragami's father. Asahi tells him that he will erase his memories about Shiragami if he allows her to come back to school. Shiragami's father agrees and promises that he will let his daughter go to school. Asahi then asks Nagisa to hit his head with the hammer but Nagisa refuses. Then Asahi takes the hammer and intends to hit his own head but is stopped by Shiragami who doesn't want him to do that. She doesn't want him to forget her and all memories about them. Unexpectedly, the hammer is sent flying and accidentally hits Shiragami's father. As a result, he loses the memories of Asahi and Shiragami can return to school. They bid farewell to Shiragami's father and return to school. This is the end of Jitsu wa Watashi wa. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel.